excuse my voice. Winter is not suitable to Filipinos. Your Excellencies, Your Honors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the business representatives from the two blocs, ASEAN and EU, good afternoon. At the outset, allow me to congratulate the EU-ASEAN Business Council for the success of the 10th ASEAN-EU Business Summit. The whole-day event that we have just held has indeed provided a platform for the much-needed dialogue between EU and ASEAN after the reopening of borders due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The ASEAN-EU Business Council has had a pivotal role in advancing ASEAN's regional economic integration and post-pandemic economic recovery through its various initiatives and valuable recommendations, which has been very useful in terms of prioritizing areas and initiatives for ASEAN's regional economic.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honour to welcome His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos, President of the Republic of the Philippines, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Mr. President, Excellencies, I am Ferdinand Marcos, and I am the President of the Republic of the Philippines. I stand today on behalf of 110 million Filipinos. At this time of crisis and opportunity, I bring with me the spirit of their enduring commitment to the ideals of our United Nations. This commitment is reflected in our solid contributions to the cause of peace and of justice. By shepherding the Manila Declaration of 1982, we helped affirm that differences should only be resolved through peaceful means. By reinforcing the predictability and stability of international law, particularly the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, we provided an example of how states should resolve their differences through reason and through right. These two contributions provide useful guidance for our time. That is, our open, inclusive, and rules-based international order that is governed by international law and informed by the principles of equity and of justice. As I have underscored, the Philippines shall continue to be a friend to all and an enemy of none. This world order traces its roots to 77 years ago. Your first Asian predecessor, Mr. President, General Carlos P. Romulo, called on our leaders then to make this floor our last battlefield, to determine in this hall whether humanity is to survive or be wiped out in another Holocaust. Our peoples chose survival. They chose cooperation. They chose peace. And by doing so, they made history. Today, history once again calls to us to make these choices. We are confronted by tectonic shifts that will inform the ebb and flow of this coming century. Of these, I see four challenges to the continued survival of our global community. First is climate change. The time for talk about if and when has long since passed. It is here. It is now. Climate change is the greatest threat affecting our nations and our peoples. There is no other problem so global in nature that requires a united effort, one led by the United Nations. The effects of climate change are uneven and reflect an historical injustice. Those who are least responsible suffer the most. The Philippines, for example,